All right, welcome back to the Fantasy Tippler. I had an interesting question on my Twitter feed, and I thought I would share with guys is do you, what is your strategy when it comes to trying to take the top three tight end? So, and this is really important. It's what a lot of fantasy analysts are telling you to grab one of the top three in the draft, in the redraft. Like, do not leave the draft without a top producing tight end. So I disagree with that. So here's my opinion: risk versus reward. If you're drafting from the first to sixth position, you definitely should go after Travis Kelce, George Kittle, and Darren Waller. Make sure that you get them in the second and third round, especially if you're on the turn, just because the value that you get from having that delayed snake and redraft is really, really important. You can lock up a really good position right there. If you are in the 7th to 12th, which if you're watching this, you should be, because you're really good at what you're doing and just looking for extra information. I would punt. I would punt the quarterback, a tight end. And here's the reason why. There's too much value that you get on the back end for several different strategies that most of the time, like if you do not get a tight end in the second round, it's like you're going like 9th, 10th, 11th. If you don't get the Travis Kelce or the George Waller on the turn, you're like it won't come back to you. Like every mock draft that I've done, they don't come back around. So, I mean, if you're drafting for the 10th position, Darren Waller comes to you in the third round, that's an easy decision. But every mock draft, live or computer simulated that I've run, says he doesn't. So I'm not willing to take TJ Hawkins or Mark Andrews at that point. So I'm just punting in most of the positions I'm in. However, if you have TJ Hawkins, who I think is going to have a great year, and Mark Andrews, he leaves a bad taste in my mouth, but he's still a good tight end. I'm still not comfortable taking him into the 5th. So it's just to get that out of your mind and just go for the Robert Tunyons and the Logan Thomas of the world. And I had an opinion last year, but I love late round tight end and I love streaming tight end because there's just a lot of options there, in my opinion. Now, will they produce as much as the top three? Of course not. That's why there's a huge tier separation when it comes to that. So, all right, so player updates. Cole Kmet, according to head coach Matt Nagy, he expects Cole Kmet to have like an increased role. I'm calling bullshit. Jimmy Graham is still there, and Jimmy Graham was actually very efficient for the first half of the season, and people think he's got nothing left in the tank. But I'm not wasting a draft pick on Cole Kmet until I actually see something. And I think in most drafts so far, most mock simulations I've ran, he is not being drafted at all, so don't waste a draft pick on him. This other tight end gives me fucking herpes. Chris Herndon, here's it is. Like they say he's practicing on the second team now. I drafted him in my dynasty league thinking he was going to be the next Travis Kelce or something. Now I got to get him off my dynasty team. I'm so over him. Do not draft him in any format, including best ball. However, Tyler Croft is taking reps with the first team, and people think he's going to be the number one tight end. That's awesome. I'm keeping an eye on him, but I will tell you this. He did nothing at Buffalo. He didn't produce anything, but Buffalo didn't really utilize their tight ends that much. So I'm keeping an eye on him. I'm not waiting to draft pick on him. I will, if it gets really thin at the end of a best ball draft, I will consider taking him. Michael Carter is taking the reps with the first team, and he gets really, really good. Like Michael Carter is like one of my favorite mid-round pickup for rookies. And remember, I only draft rookie running back. I don't draft any rookie quarterback, wide receiver, and especially not tight ends. You morons that are taking Kyle Pitts in the 5th round. Y'all gonna lose. And I hope he proves me wrong. I really do like Kyle Pitts, and I like where he went. But yeah, Michael Carter, I'm loving him. I've got Trey Sermon just a little bit above him, but they're kind of going back to back. They come on my radar in like the 8th, 9th round. They're really good wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 value. Randall Cobb, like we'll talk about Aaron Rodgers in a minute. Randall Cobb going back to the Packers. Great for Cobb, great for Aaron Rodgers. I don't know how to draft him though. I'm still gathering information. Some people think he's like a wide receiver 2. I don't really think that. Wide receiver 2 on the Packers. I don't really think that. He was more of a wide receiver 4, kind of a flex play when he was on the Packers last time I remember. So I'm just watching training camp. I've got my eye on him, but I'm just waiting for more information. But I'm definitely at this point not wasting anything, even in best ball draft pick wise on him. Deshaun Watson reported to camp. Great. Good for him for saving himself $50,000. He's going to need it for all the legal fees he's have to fight. He's a director boy for me. I don't think he plays this year at all. I really don't. Like, he may not even play until late 2022. So if you're on Dynasty, definitely take the time to see if you can go after him. I wouldn't know what to trade him for. Be part of a package deal. Wait, you could do Michael Thomas for Deshaun Watson. I may try that in my league. Because Michael Thomas let me down again and just now sitting on my freaking IR spot again. Aaron Rodgers. I'm actually happy this happened. Aaron Rodgers reported to training camp after negotiating his deal. And after this recording, I don't know what the specifics were, but basically, I think it's his last dance, like they said on Twitter. He gets Cobb in the deal. So Devonte Adams, Aaron Jones go right back up to top. Aaron Jones, I'm still avoiding just because I don't have a great feeling about him. It's just me and my mystery gut instinct. But I am taking a late round flyer on A.J. Dillon. I'm actually going to target him in 12th, 13th round. So, and here's like a random news. I kind of thought it was funny. Devonta Freeman joined the Saints. Awesome, good for him. He's in the twilight of his career. It'll be funny. I'm not don't waste any draft picks on him, but if you get really thin at running backs towards the end of a best ball draft, sure, why not? All right, so today we're going to practice an anchor RB strategy, which means you get the best RB available in the first round, possibly second round, if like Devonte Adams falls to you. And I'm not going to do it this time if he does. So the strategy is you take one really, really good RB, and then you load up while everybody else is chasing RBs on tight end, receiver, quarterback, what falls to you. And then you try to pick up those late round flyers like Michael Carter, and it's just stuff your bench full of possible breakout RB instead of wide receivers. So we're going to be drafting for the 9th position. It's always PPR, and we're going to do snake. And it's a standard format: 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex for all 3. Now I programmed this to put. Let me slow that just a little bit. Slightly high running back, because that's the strategy that kind of seems to be happening in a lot of home leagues, and that's what we're doing. So here we go. All right, let's pull up the draft board. Okay, so Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, Derek Henry, Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, Zeke Elliott. So this is kind of what a normal strategy looks like. So we're doing anchor RB strategy this time. Let's take a look at our RBs. And I am taking Nick Chubb. I love Nick Chubb. I'm taking him everywhere. And I know he probably was going to be there in the second round, but we're not taking that risk. All right, so now we've got our anchor. We are going to take, in the second round, as our number 1 receiver, DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins probably been the most consistent top 5 receiver in the last 5, since it's been in the NFL. So, and he did that with Houston. So I had high hope for him this year. I know it's getting crowded. over in Arizona, but you know, he's still talented. All right, let's see. We're in the third round now. Like I said earlier, Travis Kelce, George Kittle, and Darren Waller are already gone. So I'm punching tight end position. Let's take a look at the cheat sheet real quick with my fat head down here. So I really like Robert Woods, but I prefer Cooper Kupp. So between Robert Woods and Chris Godwin, and I think I'm going to go Chris Godwin. For a little, he has a little bit more upside. Robert Woods is like one of my favorite wide receivers, but he's just very stable and has just like a very solid floor. And I'm looking for upside, especially since I'm doing an anchor RB strategy. All right, now it's come back to me. Most of all the running backs are gone. And Cooper Kupp is there. I'm taking Cooper Kupp. So this is really good. So I have to start in the first 4 rounds, Nick Chubb, DeAndre Hopkins, Chris Godwin, Cooper Kupp, which means I've got both my starting receivers and I got a flex. So we're going to wait one more round before we go. Oh, man, Kyler Murray went. Dang it. We're going to wait one more round. Let's see who we got. T. Higgins available. T.J. Hawkins available. If we're doing anchor RB, I'm kind of wondering if we should take T. Hawkins here. And then crowd grab. Yeah, let's do that. All right, let's see what happens. So what we did here is a exact opposite of what I recommended earlier. I went ahead and took T.J. Hawkinson because I now have 2 top wide receivers in my starting lineup, one in my flex, and I have the tight end locked up. I was kind of hoping Dak Prescott would fall to me, but we're going to punt quarterbacks and try to target some of the late round flyers like Ryan Tannehill and Matt Stafford, who I'm trying to take everywhere. So who do I want, Dale Henderson or Kareem Hunt? Let's go ahead and grab Dale Henderson here. And so he'll be a solid wide receiver, running back 2. And so this is really good. So I may have tried to take Michael Pittman because he felt I was hoping he was going to come back around to me. But, you know, honestly, I probably could have waited until the 7th round to take a running back because this is where even wide receivers start getting really, really thin. So I'm looking at right now Deebo Samuel. Let's take a look at the cheat sheet real quick. I really love Fantasy Pros and their mock draft team. It really helps you kind of prep for what's out there. All right, so we got the rookies coming in. Michael Carter, Devonte Williams, Trey Sermon, all there. Deebo Samuel is there, who I like. Got a lot of injury risk there, so is Will Fuller. So Tom Brady's there. Take a look at the draft board. She's all got quarterbacks. So 1. 3 teams still need quarterbacks, so he may not make it around. I'm going to risk it. All right, let's go with. I'm going to go ahead and take Devonte Williams here. I'm looking for that upside. Remember, we are not strong at running back because we went, heavy mid wide receiver. So now I've got my risk. And Deebo Samuel fell to me. So I'm going to go ahead and take Deebo Samuel. He fell to me in the 8th round. That's a great value right there. All right. Trey Sermon's gone. That makes sense. And let's move it back up here. All right. So who do we have? Devontae Parker, Marvin Jones, T.Y. Hilton. No, thank you. And I want you guys to take a look at this right now. So here's what, I'm in the 9th round. Here's who's available in tight end. Noah Fant, Logan Thomas, Robert Tunnan, Tyler Higbee, who I love, Irv Smith. This is the reason why, if you are, and we'll do this strategy soon, if you are in the the 8th to 12th pick, go heavy RB, pick up some solid wide receivers in the mid-range, and then to punt the quarterback and tight end. I mean, there's no need to get them. So like the only other team that needs a quarterback right now is so I want let's see. All right, I'm gonna have to get a quarterback either this time or next time, but I want to see what my options are. Running back, Michael Carter, bam, that's easy decision right there. I love Michael Carter. We were just talking about him, and then we're gonna go ahead and take our quarterback right here, which is going to be, I don't like Jalen Hurts, I'm taking Matthew Stafford. And that pretty much ends it. So if you are in a situation, this happened in one of my home leagues, where you're punching the quarterbacks and people start taking 2 quarterbacks for whatever fucking reason. It's okay to take Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield, even Carlton Wentz, but he's injured now, so I don't know what's going on with him. And just play that streaming game. If you're playing a streaming game, there's still Sam Darnold. Who knows when Jack Wilson or Trey Lance going to come on? It's okay if you just punt quarterbacks the entire draft. I mean, there's just too many of them, and you're going to be able to find one that at least puts up 20 points. So we're in the 11th round. We have our quarterback. We have our tight ends. We are looking very, very good. So let's have a little bit more risk. In this anchor RB strategy, I was planning on taking a backup running back like Tony Pollard, Latavius Murray, or Alexander Madison. I kind of like what we have, so I may hold off on that. McCole Hardman still sitting there in the 11th. I've heard okay things about him. Let's just go ahead and take McCole Hardman to kind of show up our wide receiver core. And then we'll try to, in the 12th round, we will take, let me speed this up a little bit. Fuck it, let's go ahead and take Alexander Madison. But I will tell you this, if nothing happens by week 3, he goes on the waiver wire if I need to pick him up. I'm not holding anything. All right, so one of my best secrets is Tre'Quan Smith in the next to last round before we take defensive kickers. Now, you don't have to take a defensive kicker like what I was talking about with the quarterback, just because there's so many of them. However, if the weekend before draft, the first game in September, I'm doing like five drafts with my personal home leagues. So there's no point in me, not drafting. But if you're drafting like right now to like that last weekend, don't draft a defensive kicker. Draft like every random like backup running back or wide receiver 2 or quarterback. And that way, if injuries happen, which they will in training camp, you can just automatically drop and pick up somebody else until you're ready to set your team. And, you may even want to do that like Wednesday night, like to keep, keep your bench full until you actually need a kicker or defense. So I got a B+. Here's my team. It is Matt Stafford, Nick Chubb, Dale Henderson, DeAndre Hopkins, Chris Goodwin, tight end is TJ Hawkins. My flex is Cooper Kupp. Defensive Watson, which is one of my best favorite defense. Kicker is who cares. On my bench is Devonte Williams, Deebo Samuel, Michael Carter, McCole Hardman, Alexander Madison, and Tre'Quan Smith, who is right now is the #1 receiver for New Orleans. I love this team. This is not a strategy I feel comfortable doing, but the strategy fell to me in a way that I am more than happy going into the season with this team, almost to the point where I may have to do it in some leagues. So I'll keep you all posted. Thank y'all so much, and looking forward to the next one. I think the next mock draft video that we're going to do is going to be the one that I'm going to be using for this season, which is heavy RV. And then after that, we'll do like what you actually should do. So thank y'all so much, and have an amazing week.